Welcome to my YouTube channel again, and this time chemistry. So, what we are basically going to be looking at will be on changes, changes in matter, changes in matter. Now, there are two main changes that can occur in matter, and what are they? Now we have the physical change, and we have the chemical change. So these are the two main changes that can occur in matter. Okay, so we are going to look at them briefly. Now, considering the physical change, for physical change, there are two things or two main things that you must know about the physical changes. And what are they? One, physical changes are easily reversible. Physical changes are easily reversible. Then, secondly, no new substances, no new substances are formed. No new substances are formed. So the two main things that you need to know about physical changes is that one, they are easily reversible, meaning that you can actually get back the initial substance that you are working with that is undergoing the physical change. And then again, no new substance is formed in the process of carrying out a physical change. Now let me explain better. Now, we have some examples of physical changes that can actually be of help to you better understand what the easily reversible and non new substances are formed are. So let's see. Examples of physical changes are one, we have melting. We have melting. Then two, we have boiling. Boiling. Then three, we have freezing. Freezing. Then four, we have magnetization. Magnetization of iron. Magnetization of iron. And we still have divers. So long the process, you can easily get back the substance that changed. You can position it under the physical change. Now, these first three processes, I can use a particular substance for it, and that's water. Now, do you know that when water melts from being ice to becoming liquid, you can easily get back the ice? Now, what leads to melting? Imagine you have H2O as solid being ice, and then you have H2O liquid. Now, the process of converting a solid to a liquid, I have treated that in my previous video, is melting. Okay? Then while liquid to solid is freezing. Okay? Now, what facilitates the process of melting is high temperature. Then while this one is low temperature. So what does that mean? It means we are still dealing with the same substance being water. But now, water being converted from being solid to becoming liquid by melting is by the application of what? Of high temperature. And note that you cannot get back the solid, which is the ice. If you want to get back the solid, what do you do to this liquid form of water? You simply return it back to the refrigerator, and then it freezes, and then it returns to what? To solid. Now, this arrow is commonly used in some chemical reactions in the world of chemistry. When you see this arrow, just know that the reaction is reversible, coming from this, that the process is what? A physical change. Okay? Alright. Then in the case of magnetization of iron, yes, you can magnetize iron and you can demagnetize iron. I want to leave that because it's of no relevance now, but we'll treat it in subsequent lessons, okay? Now, we have the next to be chemical change. Opposite to physical change is chemical change. Now, what is chemical change? Chemical change is simply a change in which one, it is not easily reversible. It is not easily reversible. Then two, new substances are formed Yes. Meaning, when you are carrying out a chemical change, you cannot get back the initial substance that has undergone the chemical change. Yes. And again, new substances are usually formed in the process. So that's the reason why you cannot get back what you initially started with. Okay? Then what are some of the examples? Examples examples of chemical change includes burning. Now you are having a piece of paper and then you set it ablaze. When you set it ablaze, of course, you know that it burns and then results in formation of ashes. Now, can you get back the paper? No, you can't. Why? Because it's already ashes, so you cannot get back the initial substance. So that's what chemical changes entail. They're not just only burning. We also have fermentation. Fermentation. Then we also have rusting. Yes, rusting. Please, class, pay attention to this. Rusting and corrosion, they are two terms that are similar but not exactly the same. While rusting has to do with the formation of iron 3 oxide when iron is exposed to damp or moist air, corrosion is simply the conversion of a refined metal into its more stable forms. And usually the forms are either the oxides or what? Or sulfides. Okay? So that's one thing you should know. Rusting is peculiar to iron, while corrosion can occur in virtually many metals. Okay? So that's one thing about corrosion. Then one thing you should know is that I can define rusting as a kind of corrosion that occurs in iron. Don't forget, okay? So all these are processes and as well as other processes that are examples of chemical changes. Lastly, for physical and chemical changes, one thing you need to know is this. Physical changes, for the chemical composition of the substance, it remains constant. But in the case of chemical changes, the chemical composition of the substance does not remain constant, it changes. For example, now, let's say you are opportune to measure the volume of water in this case, and then it has a specific volume. When it melts, it still remains that volume. But in the case of burning, fermentation, rusting, all these ones, it tends to result ultimately in the change in the chemical composition of the substance. So that's one thing you need to know. So it is my prayer that everyone that has watched this video would understand the discrepancy between physical and chemical changes. So we still have quite a number of videos to cover in the world of chemistry. So I just want to quickly just drop this one so that you understand it very, very well. We are still in the initials of chemistry, don't forget. And don't forget to click on the subscribe button and also the like button. And share your comments. Just comment on the videos. And again, you can share the videos to your friends so that they will also benefit from these videos that I'm dropping every time. Okay? So I wish you guys all the best. Don't forget to subscribe. Okay? So stay tuned to this channel because I'm going to be dropping exciting videos. Okay? Thanks for watching and God bless.